My name is Shani George. I'm a psychotherapist and founder of Cultural Minds Therapy. My role is to take therapy outside of the office and to you all at home. I bring to you the mind behind your favourite guests. We speak about mental health, therapy and self-care. Hi, welcome to Therapy with Shah, and today joining me is a very special guest. She is a multi-award winning actress, creative director and producer. Please welcome Adi.
Hi.
Thank you for coming. It's lovely seeing you. You look lovely.
Thank
you look well.
you, so do you.
Thank you. So you've come from Luton?
Luton,
You live
yeah.
in Luton now,
Yeah.
but you're originally from Liverpool.
Yes.
And I love your
exactly.
accent. You've still got the accent as well.
I know. It's not going to go.
So yeah, you live originally from Luton, originally from
No,
Liverpool, moved to Luton,
Moved to London.
moved to London,
Yeah.
and now you live in
Luton.
So you kind
The
of
three L's.
the three L's.
3 L's.
So you're all over the place a bit.
Yeah.
In the sense of where you've travelled, should I
Yeah.
say?
And do you know what? Just to speak on that,
Yeah.
I was thinking about this a couple of months ago, and I was like, I'm that type of, some people are like, I don't want to move, I'm comfortable, I'm happy, I need to just stay where I am, and they're afraid to or not even just afraid, they just don't really
Comfortable.
they're comfortable. I'm comfortable, I could literally move anywhere and feel and settle myself. I've always been that type of person. I love travelling, and yeah, I've always felt that I can just keep moving. I don't know why.
And I guess as a creative person as well, you're very creative with the work that you do. You're kind of always on the move, always meeting new people. So it fits the lifestyle that you live, always kind of being on the move, meeting new people. So I understand that. I understand wanting to move and kind of wanting to see and explore different areas.
I'm just feeling comfortable to do that.
And doing my research on you, you did mention that you are a traveller and you do enjoy travelling, and from a young age that's something that has been incorporated in your life.
Yeah, luckily, I mean, I know a lot of people don't have the privilege to travel, and I was in a foster family that liked to travel, so several times a year I was blessed enough to be able to go with them and go to these different places, whether it was in the UK or if it was France or Italy, Spain, places in Europe, even Florida we went to, Canada. So I travelled from young, and then I did Camp America.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Is that with Mariah Carey, or it's not?
I don't know.
I've heard of Camp America.
I don't know. They did have one called Camp Mariah. So
maybe she's similar but not the same.
She probably is a patron of one of the camps, but they've got loads. Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing because I met some amazing people.
Yeah.
It was very hard work. I actually got homesick for probably the first time in my entire life. I've never been homesick since then or before then. But on that trip, I got homesick. I think it was a shock again because we were in these. So we were with the underprivileged kids, as they called it, from New York City, because we were in New York State, and where we were. The huts that we were in, there was no electricity.
Oh, no.
There was loads of creatures, and I'm this little pretty person, there's creatures. And then we were in the lake every day, and there's snakes and all kinds of things. There's ticks in the grass. It was just it was a big shock to me, but it was a challenge, and I came away better for it.
So you grew and you developed.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
I was 17, so I wasn't quite an adult, but
still going through the adolescence.
Yeah.
Two things I want to talk about from what you just said.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned about shock.
Yes.
And that must have been a culture shock for you.
Yeah.
Being from, the UK and going to a camp in America.
Yeah.
Around people that you don't know and having to learn new things. And also being in foster care, having to deal with that and how that had an impact on you. Which route do you want to go down first?
Which route? You may as well start right at the beginning.
Okay.
It'll probably be easier.
Foster care.
Yeah, so I've spent probably over half of my life in care. Mm-hmm. I was put in care from the age of 3. Oh, wow. Yeah. And I didn't leave. I mean, technically you can leave at 18, but I stayed in my foster home till I was finished uni, because it was easy, and I was settled and stuff. Mm-hmm. And the reason why we're in care, like, it was me and my brother. Luckily we were put together. I think it's because we were so small. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to separate us. But we were put in because my mum has got schizophrenia, and she's had that like for over 40 years. She's like in her 60s now. She was diagnosed like late teens, early 20s. And she was very lonely. The illness, like, I don't think she was taking medication, so she was like very unwell when we were small. Probably couldn't cope with like having 2 small children. Like, we were very close together in age. So she went to social services for some support, and they assessed her and stuff. She ended up going to hospital, and we went to foster care. We went into emergency care, and then they found a placement with her, because they were very adamant on putting us with a black foster family, which makes sense. Yeah. However, I feel like that they pushed that agenda so much that they didn't like fully assess if that was the right placement for us. Oh, wow. Because it wasn't. It was like awful, and we had to stay there for like almost a year and a half before we got moved to a different family, who was a white family, because I think they realised at this point, like, let's see beyond like the race. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's see beyond the colour. Like, that again is a factor that did affect us, because obviously being placed with a white family in a white area, it does affect you. Like, there's no getting away from that. You know, going to a white school, like, we were like one of 3 black kids in the whole junior school, for example. But yeah, going back to that first family, yeah, they were abusive to us. Wow. We were we were only small, 3 and 4. And you don't really realise how it affects you until you're older. And even me, like, now as a big woman, I'm still kind of assessing it and understanding it, because I got my foster file in lockdown, the first lockdown. So when you go into foster care, obviously they have files on you, and like they record everything. So reading all that, it was kind of like, it was very enlightening in a sense that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm understanding now why I do certain things and why my mind thinks the way it does. Wow. And where my anxiety started when I was like very young, and why. And like, it was just really interesting. I'm glad that I had that I sought after it, because it was eye-opening, even though obviously I went through it. So it was like, yeah, I know this stuff, I went through it, but then other stuff you bury. Yeah. Like, we're all human. When you have trauma, you bury a lot of stuff. So then I was like, oh, that's triggered like something. And then I was like, hang on, I've got like a blank spot. So I feel like I've just like blanked out something. Like, I feel like there's something in my memories that's blanked out. You know, for protection or whatever. And I was frustrated for months, because I was like, I just want to know what that is. I want to remember that thing. But at the same time, like, do I? But yeah, so spent majority of my life in the care system. And then after got through uni and stuff, and then after that I was like, yeah, I just want to go travelling. I want to like see who I am. Yeah. Is that
when you started to want to explore after you come out of foster care?
Yeah, I wanted to just
see the world.
See if see who I am, what I wanted, because I felt lost after uni. I was like, what do I actually want to do? And then again, like, going away for like without I went with my friends, but you know, like, without anyone, kind of thing, just doing our own thing. You have to look after yourself, meeting new people, new cultures, all that kind of stuff. It was like, again, it was transformative. It was like a transformation again for me. And I definitely came out better for it. I felt more enlightened. I knew what I wanted. I felt like I knew the direction I wanted to go down, and that was the acting route. And I was like, I'm going to try it. Like, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to go for it. And that's when I did.
Wow. Your story is so powerful. I'm just looking at you in awe because knowing what you do now and how, you know, you're in this creative industry, you're doing amazing things, producer, director, actress, and you're just doing incredible. But to hear your story behind that and where you are now, but where you've come from, it's just so lovely and it's just so inspiring. And this is why I love my interviews. I say it to every guest because I hear their story and it's almost like understanding the mind behind the person. Yeah. And hearing your story is so touching because, you know, I'm going to be honest, when you think about a child being in foster care, you do think, oh, you know, are they going to be okay? You know, what are they going to be like when they're adults? Is it going to affect them?
Exactly.
And, you know, you're not perfect. We know you've gone through difficulties, but here you are today to tell your story and you're doing incredible things. And
thank you.
You should be so proud of yourself.
I actually am proud of myself, to be honest with you. I am. But one thing, I don't know why, but one thing I've always held on to is that fact that, like, I know that kids in care usually statistically don't have the better outcomes in their adulthood, and I was just adamant from very young that I'm not going to be one of those people. I was like, I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm going to do well for myself, whatever it is I decide I want to do. Like, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to stay positive. I'm not going to let external things affect me. Like, because I'm not going to lie, there was a time in my teenage years, because I don't want to talk about something that happened, but something horrible happened to me basically, and it led to me going into depression without me realising I was in it. And I self-harmed for like a good while, but I didn't tell anyone. And then eventually I told my foster mother. And I was so embarrassed and I was like so fearful that one, I was like gonna kind of end up like my mum. That's another fear that I've had. Like, I don't want to end up with like schizophrenia. Because obviously I've seen it like as from a child's perspective, teenager, adult and stuff. So that's a fear. I'm like, I don't want to. And there's another thing that people say, like, oh yeah, you're more inclined to get it if you've got a history of it. So I've had that fear, like, I don't want to do that. So when I was self-harming, I was aware that like this is like part of like mental health issue. Anyway, I said, like, when I eventually told my foster mother, I was like, I really want help. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to like continue to do this. I was very aware of it. Hoping that I would get some help, but that didn't happen. Because I was literally 15, so it's like I don't know where to go. She didn't pursue it or anything, even though like I went through that embarrassment of like saying like I want help. So again, me being the way I am, I was like, it's cool. I'm gonna figure this out myself, and I did. And like I literally came out of that like little dark patch and was like, cool, I know how I can help myself. And it's by staying positive and doing things that make me happy and uplift me and focusing on that. It's like, I know it's not good to bury things. I probably was burying some stuff, but it was a way, it allowed me to kind of come out of that.
But I guess you can deal with it when you're ready to deal with it, because maybe when you were younger, it may have been difficult to process and understand. So now that you're at an older age and you can process and comprehend, it will be a good time when you're older to do it. I was going to ask, how did you have such a strong mindset when you were younger with, you know, everything you went through, and you had that mindset of, you know, I'm going to continue to pursue what I need to pursue. I'm going to be positive. Where did that mindset come from?
I think that because I had my younger brother, and even reading through my files, it was like, oh yeah, Adi is like a little mother. That's how it's described. Adi's like a little mother to her brother. And I remember like feeling very protective of him. I was like the voice for him. Like, he was very quiet and within himself, and I was like quite outspoken. So I think I automatically took on that role, and I think that's what that carried through into my like adolescence and then teenage years, just to be like the stronger one and the one who like I need to like be that person for him as well. As well as myself. Lovely. So it's like I can't really allow anything to like get to me, because I need to be that person that's gonna like look out for us.
Do you feel like you developed the narrative of that strong black woman?
I know it's not good. I mean it is what it is.
Certain
but
aspects.
It's not, in certain aspects it's not good, because it undermines like the fact that we're human beings, and like we hurt and we get, we go through pain, and like it's not easy. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I do see myself as a strong black woman because I've been through a lot, like many women, men, kids do. But I'm very conscious that I've had to be strong. Sometimes you just have to be.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And it's forced upon you, and you're just like, I haven't got a choice.
I was going to say that sometimes you have to be strong, and it's not you saying I'm strong and you haven't gone through any difficulties and admitted that. You have gone through difficulties, you've grown through that, but you still are strong and you still feel strong. And I guess it's about acknowledging that, and your wife, your mother, and you're balancing things amazingly. How do you manage with that? How do you manage with that? How has that been for yourself and your family?
It's been the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I feel like it's been my calling, especially to be a mum. Like as human beings, we can be like, oh, what is our purpose? What is our calling? And some people can say, oh yeah, mine was to be a doctor or whatever. But I think mine was always to be a mum. I've always, like I said, I've always had that motherly instinct. So yeah, it was definitely like that. I feel like I've really came into my own when I became a mum.
Oh, lovely.
I know, which is good, but the balance inside, I
Just
don't
do
know.
it.
Yeah, like we were saying before, because you have to. Like, it's like not even thinking about it. Like when I get asked this question, I don't even know how to answer it because I'm like, I actually don't know how I balance it. I just do because you have to.
So it's like an instinct of you just got to do it and just enjoy it and enjoy the process of doing it.
It's like just figure it out and you do and you always do. Like when Sierra was a baby, when she was little, we started to like work, like we were just running our business and stuff. Yeah. And I just put her in the sling. If I had to breastfeed, I'd literally just get my boob out. Get my tits out and put her on the boob. It's like, sorry guys, like just give me a second. Or I'd even like be walking around doing what I needed to do, and she's like just on there feeding. But like, you just have to.
Yeah,
like, just get on with it. Fun little sling things. Strap her in and you can do whatever.
Your story's so lovely, and I'm so inspired by what you do and where you are, and how great you're doing, especially within the culture and the industry as a black woman as well. Many other black women will look up to you and find you very inspirational.
Oh, that's nice.
How are you taking care of your well-being now? What are the things that you're doing now to take care of yourself?
It's taken a while because do you know what? Up until probably the lockdown, so 2020, I was definitely not taking care of my mental health. I was so busy that I wasn't even thinking about it. Yeah. But that lockdown was literally like a godsend. Like I literally was like this. Obviously, like there's a whole trillion amount of people on the planet. But you just like, this is for me. Reflection. God was like, you need this, so I'm giving this to you. Because of what we did as well, we couldn't work anyway, so we were like literally locked in for 3 months, and it was amazing. We were exercising, we were doing insanity, we were going on bike rides because the weather was amazing. We've got a garden, we were going in the garden with the pool, like little paddling pool. Yeah. I was got to spend every single day with Sierra and my husband. Yeah. I was cooking, like trying new foods. I was sketching every day. I haven't done art for years, since I was in school. So I was sketching every day. I was on TikTok making up dances with my daughter. Yeah. It was amazing.
Chance to be creative.
And having that big long break, which I've never had in my life, was like, okay, Adi, you were doing too much, and you need to like make a conscious effort of like taking time out to spend it with your family, to like do stuff that you want to do, like work on personal projects, like passion projects and stuff. And I did. So I've stuck to that. So I think what was the question?
How you take care of your mental health now? Yeah, but you've said it. I've answered it. So. Implemented that creativity with yourself and your family.
Yes,
and that's lovely. And a lot of people that I spoke to during COVID, because I did do my interviews then, they said they needed that time to just break and rest. And
literally,
you've said the same thing. So I think everybody needed that time to just break.
I know
relax.
It was horrible for other reasons, but in terms of not
being in that rat race, it was just like
exactly.
de-stress.
Yeah, and going out on the street. I don't know if we were meant to do that, but I did. I've said it now.
I think many of us did.
Going out and seeing empty streets.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this is so peaceful. So that when the world started opening up, and I was like, oh, just no, go back.
Yeah.
Go back into your house.
Yeah, that shift was a bit,
Yeah.
oh, wow, already.
I know.
I got that same feeling.
Yeah, because it was just like the world was so peaceful.
Quiet and just
yeah.
kind of like more structured. And,
Yes.
you know, when you had that, when we were queuing up for like Tesco's, it was like an orderly queue and a certain amount of people in Tesco's. And it was just so quiet.
I know.
And so peaceful. And you could just shop in silence.
I know.
Sometimes we need that bit of peace and silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world is, I feel like the world's forgotten that and just gone back to what we all have. But that is one thing I've implemented. Like, I am making sure that I say no to things.
Oh, boundaries.
Put that exactly.
Yes.
The boundaries thing, that is a major one for me, because I was like, whenever, all times of day, night, on my phone, replying to clients and this, that, the other. And I was like, no, I'm going to stop replying to people at this time at night and just switch off, as much as I can.
Well, it's been lovely talking to you.
And you.
I can literally talk to you forever. I found your story so inspiring.
And I feel like we've got so much more.
Yeah, definitely have to do part 2.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming down. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here. And keep in touch.
Of course I will.